Hello, I'm Raija Koskinen, experienced social welfare practitioner from Finland, currently working in the Häme University of Applied Sciences. I'm going to read you a short text. The title of my text is A Chance to Rediscover Respect for Nature in the Field of Education, Finnish Experiences of COVID-19 Spring. This topic is by no means new. Nevertheless, it has come forth during the spring in many particular ways. We as humankind have already for a long time had a lot of knowledge of this state of nature. It is not an exaggeration to say that we live in the age of ecological crisis. Finns do have a close relationship with nature to begin with. However, the ongoing pandemic has reminded us how inevitably we are connected with nature, also in ways of fatal consequences. We can hardly call COVID-19 a surprise. Something like this has been anticipated already for a long time. Even though this is the case, the opportunities for global interconnectedness provided, for example, by the developments and use of the new technologies have been mainly utilized for profit seeking at the cost of the nature. We have been consuming away the future of the coming generations. In this respect, we can put Finland on the map by looking at figures. Earth Overshoot Day marks the date when humanity's demand for ecological resources and services in a given year exceeds what Earth can regenerate in that year. In case all the people in the world would consume as much as we Finns, we would need 4 globes a year. This year, the Earth Overshoot Day lands on August 22nd. The influence of pandemic in reducing consumption has delayed the day with 3 weeks. Different behavior is clearly possible. The question is how to behave in a sustainable way in times of not having an acute global crisis like pandemic. In this respect, it is crucial to rethink the task of communities of education and socialization. A recent book, Education in the Age of Ecological Crisis by Veli-Matti Värri, provides valuable reasoning why and how to act differently. Reading Värri, I find that he is sharing a double message, a message of hopelessness and a message of hope. If you put together all the facts, and the most serious and alarming fact that despite all our knowledge of the ecological crisis, we are not changing our behavior. We do not act to fight the crisis. We only do that in the situation of immediate threat to our own lives. This has been the case with COVID-19. Värri also describes the reality of the Finnish education system strongly influenced by new public management and also the current emphasis on DigiLeap, sometimes even taken at the cost of the content. There would be many reasons to fall into hopelessness. As I reflect upon the situation and the discussion shared with my colleagues, I recognize a dangerous temptation. It would be so much easier to just go with the flow and play ignorant. Nonetheless, I fully agree with Värri of the importance of hope. We need to do our best to act differently, for example, in influencing the content of curriculums. The instrumental logic of capitalism is possible to overcome only if we do not lose our hope in humanity, in justice, and in the possibilities to act differently. I summarized based on Värri. To rediscover a respect for nature in the field of education, we need to widen the horizons of significance outside the capitalistic and consumeristic culture. We need to understand more why the academic institutions, like universities, are part of the ecological crisis. We have to defend the uniqueness of education, and we need to develop the pedagogical communities into communities of ecological wisdom. We must not throw aside the best in us humans. Greetings from my childhood home surroundings to you all. Thank you for listening.